Hey guys, welcome to Fixing My Ugly Backyard, episode 2. In this episode, we're going to continue the process of preparing the soil in the backyard for seed. So if you have compacted soil like me, tilling it might actually be your best bet of having a successful grow. So follow along, I'll show you the tools that I use and the mistakes that I make. Let's get growing. All right guys, so here we are continuing our process of preparing the soil for seed. When we seed, we want to make sure that we have good soil to seed contact in order to have the seed actually germinate and begin to grow. More than that, we're going to need to loosen up the dirt so that way once roots start to grow, they have someplace to go. We want to make it as easy as possible for that seed to lay down roots so that way it survives for more than one season. So that being said, the process that I used last fall and this spring to till up the soil was to use one of these garden weasels. Now this thing used to have 3 prongs on it, so I managed to break 2 of them off. That's I think a testament to how tough my soil actually is. So I'll show you exactly how I went through that process before. I did get seed to grow, but like I showed you in the last video, it didn't really stick around. So this time around, I'll show you how to use the garden weasel, but then we're also gonna ditch it and try something new. So here's the process that I used last fall and last spring. If you have spots that are dead like this is my spot that had brown patch fungus, so grass has completely died off here. So pull it up, it's dirt underneath, rock hard. So we need to prepare this if we're gonna put seed down there. So step 1, you wanna use a rake similar to this. You can also use a leaf rake, but this I think works a little bit better in pulling up the dead stuff. And just go over it and pull some of that stuff out of there. You should expose the dirt underneath. Now, if you actually have grass that's still rooted and living underneath, then it's gonna hang on there. Doing a pretty bad job of pulling up some of that too, and it really shouldn't. So you get the idea. So that'll at least pull off the top layer and expose the soil. And then the second part of that, again, this thing used to have 3 tines on there. Now it just has the 1, it's a piece of crap. Just go over it with this and break it up. You can see how I'm getting down, maybe a 1/2 inch there, which will help loosen up the top layer and at least let the root growth begin. But if you don't pair this with some type of aeration or some deeper tilling, then really you're just breaking up that top 1/2 inch. So it'll make it easier for the roots to grow that 1/2 inch. But then, below that 1/2 inch, it's just going to be rock hard soil. And so it really doesn't help us much. And I've found that out the hard way the past 2 seasons. Now, because the off-brand garden weasel that I used the past 2 seasons was a piece of crap, I got on Amazon before I was going to start this renovation project to buy another garden weasel. I was going to get the name brand garden weasel. And when I was going on there, they were like 40 or 50 bucks just for one of those cheap pieces of equipment that broke on me. So I got to looking on there, and there were actually motorized tillers on there for around $100. So I weighed the pros and cons of spending a little bit more on a tiller, and it's pretty back-breaking labor to do a large portion of the yard more than just this spot tilling with one of those garden weasels. So I decided I'd invest in a SunJoe electric tiller. This bad boy has 16-inch tills, 13.5 amps. What does all that mean? I don't know. We're gonna see if it tills up the dirt. Okay, so I did an initial pass back there. I don't have enough extension cord to get all the way to the back, so I'm gonna have to finish that up later this week once I get another extension cord. But I figured I'd try to go over this dead area that's dead from brown patch with the tiller. So I'm gonna go over it first with the rake, and then I'll go over it with the tiller. You know, is this overkill? Yes. Will I grow grass because I'm doing this? Yes. All right, on second thought, really no need to rake it first because I'm just tearing up all the grass now, so I'm gonna rake it again. So might as well just till it.
All right, so here's going to be a good comparison of a spot that I've gone over with the tiller versus a spot that I haven't. So over here, this is what the soil was like previously. So, you know, baked, cracked, very, very hard. Can't really put my finger down there. And then over here is the part that I went over with the tiller. So you can see the top ½ inch, 3/4 inch is loose. You know, this is, you know, these pieces here, they'll get smaller if I go over this a few more times. But really this is gonna help with that seed to soil contact once I lay down the seed. And I should just be able to do a light raking to get the seed down underneath the soil to prevent it from washing away. All right, I'm gonna try to talk over the air conditioners back here. But you know, before you do any tilling job like this, obviously, you want to have your underground utilities marked, so you can call 811. City should send somebody out to mark your cables. Luckily for me, since I'm getting that tree taken out, the company that's doing that actually had somebody come out this week and mark all of my utilities. So as you can see, they're all on the side of the house here, going from that's my nutsedge patch right there, just let that grow, going all the way on the side of the house and just ending over here at the meter. So nothing really in the backyard. The only thing I have to watch out for is my irrigation system back there, but I know where the heads are, and for the most part the pipes should be low enough that I'm not going to hit them, but I am being conscious of where those are at as I'm doing this.
All right, so after going over about 2/3 of the areas that I need to do for this project, you know, was it worth it to splurge $100 on the SunJoe tiller versus just using a garden weasel for these areas? I think you're going to use your own judgment on that. If you have compacted soil like me and you have areas as large as mine that are, you know, dead grass or no grass at all, then I think yes, definitely worth it spending the extra $50, $60 to get the SunJoe tiller. I'm going to have to go over the spots a couple times. I'm probably going to be doing that, you know, every night this week, just little by little until I have the project done. If you have smaller patches of dead grass in your yard, you know, it's probably better for you to rake like I showed and to use the garden weasel just to till the small spots. You know, if you're just seeding certain patches, I think that's definitely the way to go. But if you're doing full-blown areas like I'm doing here of compacted soil, then it probably makes sense to go with one of these methods. All right, guys, thanks for watching episode 2 of Fixing My Ugly Backyard. For episode 3, I'm going to try to mechanically aerate the backyard. Never done that before, so we'll see how easy it is. Also depends on whether or not I can find one to rent. So will I find a machine? Won't I find a machine? Stay tuned to find out. See you next time.